Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for waiting. Yeah, I'm sorry we're gonna start a little late, but they was still working on cables and things, but I really hope that you enjoy the music you're gonna play. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Thank you. gentleman mentioned the kind of cigar I smoke. Yeah, I smoke the best. Arturo Fuente from Dominican Republic. Yeah. Okay, thank you, sir, for the commercial. Yeah, no me recuerde eso por tu madre. Okay, this is what we call a bebop. Was an incredible style of music created in mid 40s after the Second War, and but it was a journalist, a guy who write about jazz, and he did an interview to three amazing musicians: John Burks Gillespie, Charlie Parker, and Clark Terry. The first one was Mr. Gillespie. I said, Mr. Gillespie, please talk to us about bebop. And he said, yeah, bebop, you know. I said, yeah, you have to be, because if you bop and no be, you cannot eat. One. Oh my goodness, yeah. Let me stay here. I'm not going to move. I hope I stay there. Okay. He said, yeah, bebop. Yes, I can explain that very easy. It's something like yes. And then the second one was the great Clark Terry. Clark Terry was an incredible jazz trumpeter, but also he was so funny, man. He was a guy with a great sense of humor. And by the way, he created his own language that he named it mumbles. Nobody never understood nothing of what he said, but according to him, everything make a lot of sense. I said, Mr. Terry, please talk to us about bebop. And Terry said, Ara prompere ocere camping horgo parus kore hari buru kumpira hauser but seriously, what I want to kumpira wana, and I wanted to pumbara ho, and I kumpiri chara people to catch out a habara patokara go for, but I could be the hope to reach you, it is for, it go to, it go to, pico, pripa, pirudo. And then she said, no, baby, no. I said, come on, baby, you don't tell you that, you don't tell about it. Let's go there, and I see that, you know what I did. I said, no. Oh, baby, arráscate, si te pica, arráscate, arrogoscontri hontrin bebop. Okay, the last one but not least was the great genius of Charlie Parker. And the guy said, Mr. Parker, please illustrate us about bebop. Charlie Parker was a kind of a quiet man, you know. He was a very soft-spoken person. And then he said, yeah, you know, what are you doing? No, don't play now. Just wait. I don't, yeah, you know, something like, and I don't know what. Yeah, you know, to do. Thank you, sponsor. I hope this one works. Yeah. Put a little bit of reverb this one, sir. Sound engineer? He's still here? put a little reverb on this, make a little like a vocal kind of mic. Okay, Charlie Parker said, yeah, you know, bebop is something like it, or something like it. But I'm talking about, and the guy said, I'm sorry. He said, yeah, this is what I say, you know. Oh yeah, get it, shake it, baby. Come on, and everybody say yeah. Get up now, and everybody say me down. Everybody say yeah, baby. Shake it, look, mommy, shake it, shake it, shake it, mamita, shake it, like a java. But I can shake it, like a and everybody have fun. Everybody say yeah. Yeah, keep asking. Keep asking. What else? I wish I could understand what you say, lady, but you know, my English is not that good. Yeah, okay. No, we're gonna keep playing, but you know, I'm gonna tell you something. What city were? Wisconsin? What's the name of the city? Vancouver, Washington. You know what? Wait to get my age. You're gonna forget, you know, everything. Yeah, it's like a guy that was married for 60 years or something, and he called his wife, honey, cucuchita, Mimi, and one of the guys said, man, Why you call your wife like this after so many years? I forget her name. And I mean, that's what happened to me too. Okay, but yeah, no, and I was about to say that for us it's very important to feel your response of what we're doing over here because yeah, it's very important. It's very important because that gave us the desire to keep playing. And yeah, okay. I would like to see somebody dancing here tonight. Somebody, because I would love to see somebody shaking. Hey, bye-bye, where you going?
Casera de mi corazón, mi corazón. De amanecer toma su pregón, y si la niña quiere vacilón, yo le digo, mira mami. Manicero. support to live music. We are very grateful to the Wine and Jazz Festival in what's the name of the town? Vancouver, yeah. Vancouver. Okay. I would like to introduce my good friends and great musician, and I'm pleased and proud to share stage every night. Hey, bring it down! On saxophone, Mike Tucker. On guitar, Will Brown. On percussion, Samuel Torres. On the drums, Danny Feldman. On the bass, Max Gurr on the bass. And on the piano, Lisandro Pitre. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure playing for you, and I hope you enjoy the music, and I hope they bring us back here. Okay. Thank you very much. Have a good night, and God bless you all.